Rise conference?
Uh, it was good. I mean, I'm not a big conference person,
Mhm.
but the ones I've been to were Keller Williams, and I felt like there was a like it was almost like a bright new shiny toy. There was so much tactical stuff and so much like, oh, look, this is how you can grow your business. This is how you can grow your business. I didn't really feel that with the Rise conference.
Yeah.
Um, I kind of felt that they were like the speakers kept saying like, oh, I only have I gotta go. My time's running out. So I felt like it was a little rushed with the speakers, but I
Yeah.
don't feel like many of them gave a lot of tactical stuff,
Mhm.
except that they're launching uh they have the Leo, the AI. So they're launching that,
Mhm.
and every agent is going to have their own AI, and to the
Yeah.
point where it's going to sound like you, have your demeanor, and be able
Yeah.
to talk with your leads. Uh,
Yeah.
that's not good for someone like myself, but I think
Yeah.
it's good for someone that's running like a bunch of leads and Zillow Flex teams and stuff. I think it's good for.
Mhm.
Um, and then it did give me confidence because I'm not a big like stock person, and
Mhm.
especially with brokerages because brokerages are not profitable. I mean, even like Compass, who bought the Realogy or whatever it was, they're $3 billion in debt, and they're the largest in the world. So,
Yeah.
but Real is really doing, at least from my perspective, they're doing a really good job about focusing on like how do they build a bunch of brands with inside the
Mhm.
Real Brokerage so that the
Mhm.
stock actually is profitable.
That's great
So
news.
I
Yeah.
was I was almost thinking about getting out of the stock option thing,
Well, they
and
weren't
I am
doing
actually,
great. Yeah.
huh?
They weren't doing
Yeah,
great.
yeah. So now I'm kind of not doubling down, but I'm kind of doubling down on the stock options part
Okay.
of it.
Okay. So that's encouraging.
Yeah. So, and I got to meet a lot of people. I mean, I went with like one of my shirts said, I'm an introvert. And on the back it said, please come say hi to me.
That's funny.
Another one said that I work with seniors, ask me how. And then another one said, I'm your 50% referral partner in California. Let's connect. And a lot of people, like I met like 60
Great.
people, and I am an introvert. When it comes to those type of things, I'm not good at meeting people I don't know and going up to random people and like, hey, how's it going? I'm terrible at it.
Yeah.
But those
Yeah.
shirts, people were just nonstop coming up to me. And then they
That's
have these
brilliant,
badges
actually.
that have a clicker on it, and you could
Yeah.
literally just
Yeah.
click it, and you exchange a bunch of information right then and there. So that was cool as well.
So I went not this year. I went last year. And
Okay.
it was a great conference. Now I've spoken to a lot of agents that actually went to, to both. And I had a bunch say that the last year's was probably a little bit better. That this one was there was so much going on and so many just different elements that it felt a little I don't know, discombobulated. But but I will definitely go next year. But it's encouraging to hear that about the stops
Yeah.
and what they're doing. Did you get a chance to talk to Tamir or
Yep.
about the senior
Yeah.
living?
We have a
Or
petition going around that we just need 100 people to sign it, and he said it'd give them motivation to allow us to start the senior division.
let me know where to sign.
Yeah. So I'll pass that around. Well, good morning, Ronaldo. Good morning, Sherry. How's it going?
Good
It is
morning, Cory.
Friday. We're now into the last 2 months of the year, and this is really the time to double down and to really get your base going, really settle up your 5 pillars. So I was kind of just going to talk about that a little bit of, does everyone kind of have their 5 pillars for next year kind of solidified and have a game plan for each pillar?
I'm getting there. Yes, I have an idea of probably three, maybe four of them, but I'm still refining. But I will have it nailed
Okay.
down before the end of the year.
And Ronaldo?
Yeah, I've been actively going to a lot of senior roundtables and visiting senior living communities, and I would say I'm starting to get noticed and getting some referrals.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Really good. And Sherry, do you got your 5 pillars starting to work?
Okay, honesty here. I'm not sure what 5 pillars means.
Pillars are like ways of getting business, things that you're going to focus on. So like for mine, SO, like my core, I call it my core 33, 36. That's where 90% of my business comes from. So I have a whole game plan of like, how am I going to get business from them? And then like social media is another one for me of like, how I'm going to get exposure. Like the senior pillar, I have a couple pillars within inside that pillar. But just, it's basically like 5 ways of getting business, or cookie jars, pillars, something like that. Do you have yours kind of in place?
I don't have 5, but I'm working on it. I've got
Okay,
3.
good. And I mean, it's the way I look at it is there's always one that's either your favorite or one that statistically gives the most. According to the National Association of Realtors, your friends, family, and people that you know, past clients, and people that are referred from people that you know and for other professionals, that's 72% of the business. So I always tell people like that should be your number one pillar, your number one, platform way, because it's statistically is the number one. Then going from there, I always go like, you should do something that you like, what you like to do. Like for me, I struggle at networking groups, but I know they're good. And so they're in there, but they're not one of my main ones because I just don't do good at those. Like conferences, same thing. But like inside the senior pillar, we have so many different ways of getting business. We can partner up with senior living communities. We can go to expos, once a month and have a CRM builder. We can do lunch and learns. We can do networking groups. We can also focus on our SOI or ads or things on social media. So I always say like, find things that you like to do. I'm not one of those ones that believes that you should try to improve on your weaknesses. I believe when it comes to pillars, when it comes to doing business, you should really exploit your strengths and things that you're good at and things that you like to do, because then business is good, and it's really hard to get burnt out if you're doing things that you love to do. I believe everyone should have what I call a passion niche. One of your pillars should be doing and based around something that you love to do. So like for me, I love to golf, and I make it super intentional that every Wednesday I take the day off of work and I go play golf all day long. But when I go to the golf course, I go and say, hey, pair me up with 2 to 3 other people. So now I get to meet 2 to 3 other people. I get 4 hours uninterrupted with them. Obviously, we talk about what we're going to do and what we do for a living. And it gives me a way to meet other people that share a passion with me, as well as a chance to really see if there's something that I can do, give out my business card. And then I have a Golfing Buddies group where now there's 200 something people in it, but it took a couple of years to get there. I throw a monthly tournament, and now these 200 people constantly are seeing my stuff and reminded about what I do. And again, I really do believe people do business with people who they know, like, and trust, as everyone says. But I believe when you share a passion together, and it doesn't matter what the passion is, those are your biggest advocates. Those are your cheerleaders. Those are the people that go out of their way, that when they hear someone talking about real estate, they actually get more excited about it than probably you do. And they'll go run and say, oh, you know what? You need to really talk to this person. So, yeah, and it could start off small. I mean, I have a student that I was teaching. She had a little Red Hat Society, and there's 20 people in it. And she grew that group and got highly intentional about it, started sponsoring little coffee dates, little things. And now she's grown up, and those 20, now she's 25 of them, but those 25 people have referred her at least one person a year. So I think that's where, she gets to be around people that she likes to be around, and they get to do things they like to do. And all of us should have a passion in life, a hobby in life. And I really believe that life is short and that especially in real estate, it can be emotional, it can get emotional and it can mess with your psyche. It can mess, but if we're at least taking one day a week to enjoy what we love to do in life, then it gives us that extra spurt, and it gives us some rejuvenation. And if nothing else, we get to meet other people that love to do what we love to do. So I always say that that should be one of your pillars, because there's always ways to, spot, and they don't have to, you don't sponsor huge things. You can sponsor a $20 gift card, or we do different things that those would be good. And then now I sponsor a charity golf tournament almost once a month. So again, I meet 80 to 144 people when I'm doing these charity events. I get to meet people that love to golf. I get to show that I sponsor their charity, or I'm giving back to their charity, and it does really, really good. And so those are just some ideas. Does anyone else have any other ideas for us pillars or things that are working for them?
Like I said, mine really is networking right now, just to get my feet wet, and it's great because I've met, key players in the senior industry, and then they've made introductions to me to other people. And then I'm just setting up appointments from there, which has been really, really good.
Right.
Social media is next.
Yeah. And social media is like I tell everyone, it's all about being consistent. I used to, when I was building it, there was sometimes I was getting 20 and 30,000 views, and it was like I couldn't do anything wrong. And then all of a sudden something happened, and I started getting like stuck in the 200 to 300, and I got a little discouraged. But I was thinking, like, could I imagine being in a room right now with 300 people that were hearing my message and learning about what it is I do? Like, that's pretty cool. I went to a conference, and they were like, you got to post 3 times a day. And so I was like, okay. So this last probably month and a half, I've been really consistent about posting 3 times a day. And now it's like, again, I'm starting to get 1,000, 2,000, sometimes 5 and 20,000 views. And I really think it's just consistency. The algorithms right now, they really want people just to post. But it's not easy. I'll tell you that much. I've been trying to do like one educational, one of value, and then one of like personal branding, like something about myself, and just interjecting those in there. And then I've also learned that you can almost do the exact same reel, just repurpose it, put a different music trend on it, put a different hook on it, and that's been good as well. But yeah, so then I think when you have your pillars, then again, it's coming up with a plan of action. What are you going to do on a monthly basis? What are your lag measures and your lead measures? Meaning, like, so if I have my golfing buddies passion niche, my lead measures is like how many charity tournaments did I do? How many people did I meet? How many people filled out a raffle form? Those are all lead measures. And then lag measures would be like, how many people set up appointments? How many people did I follow up with? And how many people moved into one of my core identifiers? What else? Anyone else got anything that they've been doing? I mean, Lisa, why don't you tell, kind of what started that first, I know we were a little reluctant to start it, and I think we did a call together, and then from there, it just kind of domino effect for you.
Well, we didn't do a call together, but you obviously strongly encouraged me to basically start somewhere, get out of my head so much, which was great, because literally it took just really the motion of doing that created the momentum of, reaching out to my first senior living community. And I set up that appointment, and it went really, really well. And I was invited back to like an after hours event there. And I did go, and I recorded it. and I'm actually still editing it, but I was gonna add that as more of a broader video than just that little thing, but I'm working on that. And then basically it's just, I set up appointments from there. I reached out to a networking group, and then the introductions were made. I made, a few good contacts there, and they introduced me, and they're all happy to say, hey, I know this person, let me get you acquainted with them. And so I've gotten introductions that way, and now I have the coffee appointments, and I'm really starting to get that VOD in place. I think the biggest thing was literally just making the first move, and now the momentum is starting to go, and it's encouraging me too. It's energizing me to get out and do the stuff I really want to do and get all of this stuff out of the way.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I know. And it all started with setting up a tour. And how easy was it to set up that tour?
Oh my gosh, it was easy. I mean, they were excited to get me to come in. And then I realized every senior living community representative I've met at a networking event, they're all like, yeah, sure, come on, we'd love that for you to have a tour. It's, they're bending over backwards. Of course, we're here to help them too. So it's just a mutually beneficial relationship. So,
Yeah. I think in real estate, there's a lot of hard conversations, there's a lot of hard appointments, a lot of hard conversion. But in the senior space, setting that tour for an assisted living community, an independent living community, it's the easiest one you can do. I mean, I have another guy in another, he's here. Mike, I mean, he sets 2 and 3 appointments every single week. He's at 100% ratio. He's never had anyone say no. And now he's really getting known in the market, and he's separated himself. So I tell everyone, like, it's probably the easiest spot to start, because we need successes. Activity breeds activity. And if you can call something knowing that you're going to have 100% success ratio, I think the only times that people don't have success is if the person's not in who sets the tours, but you just call them back. And it's pretty easy. They get paid, and one of their lag measures for their work is how many appointments did they set? How many tours did they do? So when someone calls and says, I want to do a tour, they say yes, and if you meet someone in a networking group and say, yeah, can I come to your community? Yes, please come to it. Like that's what all they need to do. So yeah, and I know, Ronaldo, you had pretty much a similar experience. I know you started with the senior networking groups, but I believe you're also starting to do the senior communities.
Yeah, actually, I started with senior communities. There's no
Okay.
problem visiting them, but even making an appointment, just walking in, and they're very gracious to give me a tour and show me and tell me about what they can offer. And actually, in an hour and a half from now, I'll be going to an open house. They invited me for an open house in one of the communities, which I've been meeting regular basis in.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Thank you.
And Sherry, how's everything going with you?
It's going well. I need to find time. I need to get away from my 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 actually, and start focusing more on my real estate business. I've got a lot of ideas, but I haven't been getting into action, and I need to force myself to do that. So
What do you do
hearing
for a
these
living?
stories is encouraging. I am curious though, when you visit the facilities, or the communities, I guess is the right word. Are you going at it as, are you introducing yourself as a real estate agent and hoping for referrals, or what is the attitude when you go in?
So when I do the phone calls, I do not say I'm a real estate agent. I say I specialize working with seniors and their families, helping them downsize, relocate, and transition to assisted living. I just want to learn more about your community, your features and benefits, so I can learn which one of my clients is your future resident. So that's the script. When I go there as an investigative journalist. I'm there to really learn about the community, and they have like a routine that they do. They do these tours. So asking the right questions and kind of interjecting yourself. I don't make it about me, because ultimately when we work with seniors and their families, we need to know all the when we go to sell the senior's home, a lot of times it's where am I going to go? Like, I'm not selling till I know where I'm going to go. So these communities are a great spot for that. Then yes, ultimately you want to partner up with them, because the best way I explain it is they have a really big marketing budget. Sometimes it's like $10,000 a month per community, and they're spending a lot of money to get people to come tour, to get people to come into, to be their future resident. They spend all this money. They have this bright new shiny car. The person comes in, goes, yeah, I want to buy the bright new shiny car. And they literally go, oh, but I need to sell my old clunker first. And the community goes, oh, okay, well, just come back when you do that. And now if they have a real estate agent that really specializes and has this complete solution for them, help with the decluttering, the organizing, the packing, the moving, the estate sales, the repairs, and the selling of the home, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that solution. So when you go there and say, hey, yeah, this is what I specialize in, I have my family of companies, we can help this and make it mainstreamed. That's really what they're looking for. And I, again, I always look at things as pure numbers. As if you have 15 communities that you're partnered up with, and they just give you one introduction a year, that's 15 possible deals you can do that more than likely have to sell. They're in a crisis mode has happened. That's generally why people are going to tour, and why they're like, hey, I need to sell. Who do you know? Then the community can give that introduction. I have one that's given me 8 introductions this year. So if you partner up with the right ones and you show your value, they can be a huge referral source for you. Does it happen overnight? No. Are they a little skeptical? Yes, but you just got to keep showing up and almost act like a title rep. Like, if you're in an office, title reps come in every single week for dropping items of value. Here, how can I help? Here's another item of value. How can I help? And if you do kind of the similar thing, it'll be natural that they'll start introducing you to people. And then when we show them that you care, so we like to volunteer at least once a month so that we can show them that, hey, we're here to actually help and to give back. Who else? Or anyone else have a something that we could talk about to help either yourself or your business?
Hey, Cory, can I just add to that?
Yeah.
Visiting one of the facilities for the first time, I was able to get a referral from the sales director right after that first meeting. So I'm lucky enough that they were able to refer somebody who's moving in to the facility. And remember, I talked to you about that the children are all out of state. So I was able to set up the appointment and meet up with them. But unfortunately, it boils down to the commission. So they went for a agent who's willing to get paid 1% commission compared to the 2.5 that I was negotiating with them. So, but at least the fact that they referred somebody to me is a big thing. Just knowing me for a couple of hours, during that event that I attended. So I know this thing
Awesome.
works. So I'm gonna keep on doing this. I'm gonna be doing a lot of tours, and as you said, I have 15 facilities. That's gonna give me like 15 deals, possible deals. Yeah.
Perfect. So a little just guidance that whenever I'm doing a listing appointment, I always ask them what's more important to them, how much money they're going to walk away with, or how much the real estate agent's charging the commission. And then the next thing I go is, who do you think is going to negotiate or be a better negotiator? Someone that couldn't negotiate their own commission and just took the lowest commission that the seller wanted them to take, or someone that knows how to negotiate their own commission. Because if they're not going to fight for their own commission, do you really think they're going to fight for your highest price? And
Okay,
then, yeah, go ahead.
do you have a bottom? So for instance, you said that to these people. I've said something similar to this one particular couple, and they're all about the 1%. They had an agent that they had used prior to, and they were all about a 1% commission. And that sounds good, what, you're saying. Do you have a bottom where you just walk away because they're just not gonna recognize what you're bringing to the table?
Yeah, if my whole presentation is all about value, getting the highest price, quickest timeline, and all the different things that I do, by the end, I never brought up price, what we're going to list for, and I never brought up commission. Those are two things I don't talk about, because I want to know that they see that I have value and that I'm different than any other agent. But I also say I've never let commission be the reason I don't take a listing. Now, if they're like, oh, we want to do it at 1%, sure, I'll go take a picture with my cell phone, I'll put it in the MLS, and we can hope for the best. If that's what you want of an agent, I'm more than happy to do that. I've never had to do that. I do say, why don't my normal commission is 3%. I can negotiate down to 2.5%. Why don't you give me an opportunity to get you the highest price? And if I feel like we need to use commission to net you what you want to net, then we can negotiate my commission during the offer. But if I get you more than that 1% agent's going to get, and my proven strategy shows that, then don't you think I'm worth every single penny of it? You can go to another one of like, if you had a major surgery, this is your biggest asset in your life. Do you agree? Yes. Okay. If you're going to go get a major surgery, are you going to get to the doctor that's going to give it to you for the cheapest, or are you going to get to the one that's going to get you the best result? Obviously the best result. So if you're with your biggest asset, is it really worth risking 2% commission? I mean, really, what are we talking about here? I mean, even and I'll even say it, on $1 million piece of property, we're talking about $10,000 here, maybe $15,000. That $15,000, you're really willing to jeopardize you not getting 1.1 because you went with a discount agent that really doesn't care what price he gets or she gets. All they want to do is just list the property and put their sign in the yard and get more buyers and sellers from it. They're not really caring if they sell your property. And I mean, and if you have a lower price point, it's even easier to show. Okay, $500,000, 1%, that's $5,000. And if we think about it, that agent's not even making that $5,000. They got to share it with their broker. Hopefully, they're spending money on marketing. Generally, we spend about 30 to 40% on marketing. So if I have, $1 million listing, I'm spending $6,000 to $10,000 a month, $6,000 to $10,000 on marketing your home. At 1%, do you think they're really going to give up 30% to their broker and then the other $6,000 to market your home? Or do you think they're just going to do everything as cheaply as possible and you're not going to get the level of service that you want?
So that brings me to, you asked what we might need. I would love to see a listing presentation from beginning to end that you do, or could you share your listing presentation? Do you have something like that where you could do that?
We're going to do like a little boot camp. It's going to be a little added on, but it'll be like a 4-part series showing the full listing presentation, kind of helping people build their presentation, their items of value, and then like how to really one of my secrets for, I don't do CMAs because it doesn't matter what I think it's worth. And I've even had an appraiser go in and appraise the homes, and it ends up backfiring because either they're stuck on a price or like, oh, you coerced them to do this, or we end up getting a lot more, or sometimes we get less than the appraisal because the appraisal is just an opinion of what they think the house is worth. And without a sales price, like a sales agreement, they're literally just guessing. they don't have to get it to a certain number, like on a sales price, but yeah, we will do a listing presentation. We're talking with the coaches of whether like each one of us is going to do one, or if we're going to kind of all do one time. Felicia will do hers, and then Paul can kind of give his take on them. But I would really say you like start from value and try to answer all the questions that you possibly can, and don't talk about price and don't talk about commissions. And if the first thing goes, I ask what's important to you with an agent. If they go, oh, commissions and what you're going to list it for. Okay, before we talk about those two things, is there any other reason you'd hesitate to list with me? And I'll get them to, I will literally tack them down of like, no, you're going to commit one way or another. And then I'll start going with like, what's important? Like, do you want someone to communicate with you? Do you want someone to market your home? How many people do you want through your front door? Is that important to you? How many offers do you want? Is that important to you? Do you care if someone helps you with the decluttering, organizing, or helps you with the moving? Do you care if someone cares if you're going to get sued later? 14% or 17% of transactions end up in litigation. We're less than 1%. So is that important to you? And you really start getting them to think about all the different reasons and value that an agent brings. But yeah, we will do one. I'll even talk to him about maybe doing one in the month of December of doing something like that.
Yeah, because I really need to get mine pulled together soon. Refined, refreshed, and really targeted towards, this niche.
Yeah. And Gretchen, who she does 40 something deals a year, she doesn't even have a presentation. She starts with 3 questions and just goes from there. And so, I'm one that I like a presentation. I like walking them through it, but there's different people have different things that work for them. Anyone else have anything else that we can help out with? We can, make ways to get your business to start booming, because the writing's on the wall. We've now had 2 years where we've sold basically 4 million homes a year each. That's probably 30% lower than a normal year. So the floodgates will open, whether it's next year or the year after. They're going to open, and I would say just keep on marketing, because the ones that market, the ones that get visible, the ones that get our attention, those are going to be the ones that really thrive in the market that's about to explode.
It'll be a boomsday.
Yeah, it will. And I believe when they figure out, and I'm going to do a video on it, but when they figure out how to have people over the age of 65 start selling their properties, that is when the market's going to explode. Seniors own the most amount of real estate. They have the most equity. They have the least mortgages on their homes, and they have the 3, 4, 5 bedroom homes. So when they figure out how to release those homes, we are going to see a blitz. Or naturally, when people start passing away, we're going to see a blitz in homes.
Yes.
And then our next thing is when they find affordability. When they find out how to make it more affordable for first-time home buyers, again, we'll see a blitz in the market. Well, if we don't have anything else, we can go and go from there.
Thank you, Cory. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, Cory.
That was
Appreciate
great.
Thank you. All righty. Bye.
Have a great one. Bye.
Bye.